As you have to the bottom right-hand side, Impact, our yellow Zerg player, is going to be going up against the blue Protoss in the top left-hand side. Any moment now. Any second now. Any slight moment. Okay. Top left is Trap. There we go. I'm going to go back on Narilla's view. Hello, VipNet, coming in with a 5-month resub. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As I have somehow dropped the marble off of its thing. Ay, ay, ay. Monty and dude, thank you so much for the $50. You are getting 10 marbles with Rift Blushes attached on the tree. Now guys, unfortunately, if we do not find a replacement, this will be our last series of the day. No! I know, I can hear you all crying out in sadness and all the rest of it. I'm really upset too, because I really thought today would be really awesome, and I mean, 3 best of 3s doesn't really cut it. Let's be quite frank and honest to you all. But still, we did good with the Rift Blushes, I'm going to be honest. We got a good amount of Rift Blushes on the tree. I'm pretty happy with it. There's still your chance to get a Rift Blush right now, guys. Not only will you support this tournament, which is put on by myself and Take TV, all the donations today are going towards recouping the money we put into the prize pool. So literally, and this is completely honest as well, I'll say this all the way throughout this tournament. If we make the money back on this tournament through donations, etc., this tournament will happen again. And that is just a straight up fact. If we make the money back, we can do it again. So any donation does massively help towards keeping these tournaments going, seeing more of them, and hopefully, if we do another, it'll be even better organized. Group B of this happens tomorrow, by the way. Solar, Zest, Petit Drogo, Gumiho, and Fantasy from 1 PM CET will be over on my stream, so do tune in for that tomorrow. Stargate opening here in this PvZ as we get this rocking and rolling away on Port Alexander for map number 1. Stargate in the PvZ has been pretty kind of consistent as like a go-to strategy. By the way, these are the last 2 marbles from Montian's $50. Thank you so much, Montian, for the $50 again. Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, however you celebrate. The last 2 Rift Blush marbles from Montian up on the tree, meaning we will now have 33 marbles on the tree. We are just calling them marbles now. I've given up calling them baubles because then people get confused. They are giant marbles for as much as we care. Last one can go over here. Ugh, I'm garroting myself with my microphone. Awesome. Oh, thank you so much, Montian. Really do appreciate it, dude. So, Stargate PvZ, it's an interesting one because we do just see it being the standard again and again. And believe it or not, again and again and again. It just keeps on happening. Which is awesome. Which is awesome. As we get this set up and rolling, we're just going to be seeing this probe moving around down to the bottom side. A couple of lings and a queen will be able to pick that probe off, so job well done already. As we do see as well, this oracle is just about halfway done, so going in towards that post first oracle, so double oracle here. Trap definitely looking to pick up some workers as we get going. Actually gets 3 already, and that'll be a 4th. Nope, just morphs into a sport crawler in time. Nicely done. Who gets confused by baubles? Quite a lot of people, actually. People are like, what the heck's a bauble? It's just not a term that a lot of people are familiar with. Apparently in America, it's just, people just do not know what it means. So I've had this discussion on my stream a lot of times, trust me. It's a real issue. It's a real issue. It's a real thing, guys, I promise you. Sorry, I just want to clip some more Rift Blushes just in case we need to put some more on the tree at a moment's notice. Bauble isn't a real word. It really is. It's defined in dictionaries and all sorts. Is that where Bulbasaur comes from? That's what we should have, just to keep up with the Pokemon memes. For no reason at all other than the fact that we have Pokemon memes. Just be like, hey guys, $100, you get a Bulbasaur. Rah. I don't know how I'd make a Bulbasaur, but, you know, you guys get the idea. You've never heard that word before? Yeah, it's like, basically, I mean, these things, like these round, spherical Christmas decorations, we just call them baubles in England. And in other parts of the world as well. But America's just call them ornaments. There isn't like an actual official name for them, I guess. Man, these oracles have been wild. I mean, obviously they were on screen. 10 drones killed is a very, very effective amount of damage done here. So already Impact is again just trailing off a little bit in these early stages. Already taking a lot of damage. That really is a bit of a shame for him to take so much damage so early on. And we do have the Archons morphing in here. They're about to finish up in a moment or two. So Archons finishing morphing in as those will start to head down now toward the bottom right-hand side of the map. So a couple of Archons coming down towards the bottom right, and meanwhile we do see the Forge, the Robo facility coming up as well. Straight into charge here, Trap, so definitely looking to be as aggressive as he can early on. With the charge coming up, it means with the Temple Archives about to finish, he can go in towards some, you know, Archon drops with also the charge lots to kind of charge in with this to help out, so. Prism unloads. Single Zergling just patrolling around this upper left-hand side. Charges almost about to finish up as well. A couple more Mortals just chrono boosting out, and the Lurker Den will drop down here from Impact as well. So Lurker Den about to finish up. Well, not about to finish up, but it's on its way, and that'll be done in about a minute or so. I mean, it's still a little while to get in towards Lurkers, but it feels unlikely that Trap will be able to hit before then. I mean, he has about a minute to cross the map and take a fight. As you do see the news getting going. This is weird at myself. Riff, literally, I tried to message Ragnarok, but he had his friends off. He had his friends off when I tried to message him, so I don't have any other contact to him. I don't have any other contact to him at all. That's my issue. Let's go to his stream. Okay. Ay. Multitasking. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Open chat. Ay. Did you ask him on the base trade account? Is this going to become really confusing? Wait, what's his actual Twitch name? How do I add him? Let me go to Twitch TV. Multitasking, guys. Oh, let's go back to the Naruto cam for a moment. SC2_Ragnarok. Okay. Ooh, who's that with the donation? Who's that? $5 from Kentoroi. Thank you so much for the $5, dude. You know what that means? You have just rift blushed up a giant marble. Thank you so much. I'll get on the tree after the game. Oh, Naruto, go to the middle of the map. Go to the middle of the map, Naruto. Okay, our observer sucks. Sorry, guys. What can I tell you? You have rift blushed up a giant marble, Kentoroi. Thank you so much. Let me get your name on this one, too. We'll hang it on the tree straight after this game. Drop Lord's coming in. That's what Naruto was trying to point out and to get us to notice. So he is going to get those overlords in towards the main. Doesn't actually manage to drop in the end. A lot of units still split down here. So honestly, good defense by Trap. Not really allowing all that much to happen. Lurkers do burrow. Immortals just back away from this fight at the moment, though. So a couple of stasis wards actually help a lot as well. Did a pretty good job. As to the top side, these units have just unloaded and they are starting to win this fight. So Impact's starting to win this one out. Doing a pretty good job of this at the moment. You're going to see those roaches getting picked off as well. Doing a pretty good job of that also. So that's going pretty good. Sorry, I'm just messaging Ragnarok. Alright. Oh, why am I not signed in on his stream? That doesn't make any sense. Why am I signed out? Oh no. Log in. I'm not a robot. StarCraft's going on, guys. I'm literally, the only reason I'm not commentating is I'm literally trying to get us more games to happen after this. So I know you guys don't like to not have me, Alright. Cool. Thank you, Riff. I appreciate the help. Obviously, today it turned out to be a bit of a disaster. 2018 is ending. Yeah, 2018 is ending. Was with the title of the tourney. Like, people, I thought this was a really good title. Like, 2018 has left the game. Because it's the end of 2018, you know, the year's passing by, and it's our final tournament of the year. I thought it was a pretty good name. Loads of people are like, Haas is quitting StarCraft? I don't know how you read the title so that it means that in any way, shape, or form. But a lot of people seem to feel like that is how it's how it reads. So don't ask me if I'm going to be honest with you guys. I got nothing to tell you. Guys, we're going to have Immortals, Archons, and a few of these High Templar pushing forwards. Counterattack coming in from Impact here, who just has not been able to hold off against the onslaught of this Protoss army. It felt like he was doing pretty well with that split up army in the drops before, but still just too many Immortals alive. Obviously, counterattacking here has some real potential, but I mean, he's already lost this bottom side base. I guess still 4 bases up here from Impact if he can find a way to slow down the Protoss army or make it turn away. As we are going to be seeing the units pushing up this ramp. Let's see what can be done. The first couple of storms are pretty good though, to the point where Impact will just type out GG and he will eliminated from Anonymous. Okay, so we got Sue coming up after this, guys. Sue will end up playing today. Woohoo! Off to bed, Omen. Dude, thank you so much for the $100, dude. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you have a fantastic night. I hope you have a great December. Thank you for subscribing to my channel as well. Honestly, dude, thank you so much. Get some love in the chat for Omen. Have a great sleep, dude. Have a good one. Whew. Thank you so much. How do you add a Rift Bush to the tree, Ivesen? You do some magic. It's called $5, literally. $5 and you will add a decoration with a Rift Blush attached to the tree. Where's Rifkin? Rifkin is not streaming today. Basically, this is actually my tournament, but we're streaming on Base Trade TV because me and Riff made up some mutually beneficial deal, which helps him, it helps me. It just made sense for both of us. So I'm today casting my tournament on the Base Trade TV stream. Rifkin will be back with more Base Trade TV content in the future, I am sure. And yeah. Where do you put those $5? Dude, either 500 bits or just $5 donated right here on the channel. It's just a donation to the Base Trade TV stream today will do it. So, yeah. They're currently residing on the top of your head. Yeah, on top of your head doesn't really work. Like, I mean, I can put, do I have $5? I have a €5 note. I've got it. Perfect. You know what? We've got a $5. Yeah. See? Oh, no, other way around. Yeah. Oh, no. $5. Is that what you're doing right now? Oh. Okay, I don't know why I just put €5 and $1 on my head. I don't know what I was trying to do with this. You know that moment where you start doing it and you're just like, I don't know where this is going? That was me before I even did it, actually. Before I even started, I knew this was not going to do anything. But yeah, you have to, I mean, I don't know how I indicate putting them on the stream, just like slam them in there. There's a donation button somewhere, I think. I'm pretty sure. Other people seem to have found it, so. Anyways, we do have a probe, is obviously just been scouting around, has seen this early gold base from Impact, so a little bit different here. As we do have this coming up, a couple drones just mining away. So these guys are getting working here in these early stages. Some extra lings on the way up. And obviously with extra lings coming through, they're going to start heading across towards that upper left-hand side of the map. Now, Stasis is a bit of a weird map. I'm not sure how I feel about it. And what that means is it's kind of the politically correct way of saying, I really don't like this map, but I guess I should watch more games on it first to be absolutely sure. I really don't think it's very good. It's very macro-heavy. You've got this gold base, which is not difficult to take for Zerg players. The third base is so easy to take to. It's open, yes, but it's so set back. It's so far away that you would imagine that it's going to be very difficult to make something work in all of this. It's just a weird one, honestly. It's just a weird one as we get this rolling. Alright. How could you hate the owl map? Because believe it or not, I don't judge the map based on what the mini-map looks like. Open, you get choked up on this map more than any... Yeah, I mean the third base is open though. Like, if a Zerg army gets here, there's actually quite a lot of space around here. Like, it's very difficult to wall this area off and still protect it. I guess you could stand much further forwards, but then you do have the choices of coming down different directions. I don't know, when I saw it, the thing that I saw in the Team Liquid map contest tournament when I was casting this in that tournament was the fact that this third base was very easily attacked by Ling Bei. Now, maybe I'm wrong by saying it's open, maybe that's not what I mean, but it's very easily accessed by larger armies or by run-bys, so it's actually, it's not the easiest base to hold, per se. To the point where I even feel like this base might even be somewhat easier to hold, depending on what race you're playing against, etc. But anyways, my point is, overall, it's still easy enough to hold. And so you just get into these positions where all of a sudden, when this base is held, and you do start moving forwards a bit with a large army, and you can stand here, well, suddenly then you're unattackable on 3 bases, and the 4th base isn't that much more difficult to take, and you just sort of stop splitting the map from such an early stage. It really feels like... it's just not one of the maps I personally enjoy. It's not the sort of style of map I like to play on or I like to watch. Which is fine. Everyone likes different things as well. So, I mean, all I'm trying to get across here is I have an opinion, you know? I think it's going to pop up in towards the natural expansion. Zeld in that wall-off is going to be able to turn those Zerglings away, and there's going to be seen an Adept and a Stalker picking off a Zergling nice and quickly there at the front. So... that Ling does go down. Lair is about to finish up in the main base in the next few moments. There's 10 roaches are about to pop out. +1 missile attack coming through on that evolution chamber. As we do see the couple of Archons lifting up into that prism, coming out into the center. Zerglings are going to be going all the way over the left-hand side, and we are going to be seeing the Stalker, the Adept, being surrounded here. So they are going to get surrounded pretty much right away. And this pylon is... going to be in some trouble as well, and that War Prism continues to come all the way over here to this right-hand side. A few more roaches starting to show up and getting ready to just push that Prism back. Charge on the way down as well, and there is again that Nexus just dropping in on the 3rd base. These couple of Oracles going to get coming forwards now, see what they can try and get up to. 5 more roaches still on the way out, and it is still just kind of roach heavy here from Impact in game number 2. Alright, let me just check something here, guys. Okay. Not sure if Ragnarok wants to play or not. I was just checking his stream quick. That Korean server lag. Yeah, you know what? It's actually not been that bad today, but it has been a little bit noticeable now and again, so... yeah, bit rough. Alright, so, again, into this, we see this Prism coming back into the center. Revelation will go down. A couple of Creep Tumors going to be in some trouble. So a couple of Creep Tumors being picked off. Roaches coming in. Archons lifted back up, though. No problem at all there. More Roaches down the right side from Impact. And, well, now that he's got that gold base up early in the game, the 4th base comes very easily because you're expanding backwards. So expanding back towards the 4th turns out quite nicely for him. Oracle is coming back into the center as well, so 2 Oracles out in the middle, as we do see Roaches coming around the bottom side of the map, so Impact going to be coming across here, seeing what he can do. Observer still overhead. We do just have, again, a couple of hallucinated Phoenix here from Trap, just moving across to the right-hand side. More Roaches continue to head in towards the upper left-hand side also. So they're going to be running in to try and take a fight, and, well, there's enough of them. You know what? There isn't any force fields. These Immortals are not very well protected, and there isn't that much to really buffer for them at all. So Impact getting right on top of this, and Trap does seem to be in some trouble here. Extra Zelds will be warping in. Oracles show up. The Archons come back home. Is there a defense still available? Nice micro to keep these units alive as long as possible. It's tough to know what these roaches are going to target next, and that's why the Warp Prism can't save everything all of the time. 2 more Immortals show up, and that might just be enough. If all of these roaches starting to get low on health because of the Archon splash damage anyways, these Immortal shots are starting to one-hit them. Oracle's helping to push back too. What a hold by Trap in a position where it just didn't look like he was really going to get much done at all. Would have liked to see him maybe try and pick up those Immortals and use them to chase instead of that single Archon which got picked off, but in the end, it all works out. Still a couple of Oracles just up overhead as well. As we do see the Prism just sat off to the left-hand side. There's Ragnarok. So now we have Sewers shown up, but I don't know if it's too late to sort it out. I guess we could maybe get both of them to play. If we've done 3 best of 3s, there's 7 more to play. It's not that bad. It's possible we get them to play at the same time. There's also a possibility that we just sort of get Ragnarok to play on a different day or something. I don't know. I'm going to talk to Naruto straight after this and get it completely figured out, guys. We're trying to just sort this out so we have lots of StarCraft to watch. That's the goal. That's the plan. So, fingers crossed. A couple of mutas popping up as we see Impact's kind of transition is going to be with those mutas. And, well, Cannon in the mineral line doesn't really do all that much to get things started here. Trap doesn't really have an immediate response to this. As we see a bunch more probes starting to go down. Is flying all the way over. High Templar gets picked off as well. More probes in some trouble here. And we are going to be seeing still those the Archons, the sentries, starting to get to work on the mutas, but it doesn't really feel like it's going to be enough in the end. Phoenix continue to deal some damage. Stalkers coming down from the right-hand side. A few more Stalkers warping in underneath as well. Man, so many probes killed Trap. Feels as though he might just die off to this Roach Ravager army that's coming in as a follow-up, especially if he has to go and send some units into the main to try and help clean this up as well. He's just going to be in all sorts of wrong positions. These Immortals are once again just on their own, and while Immortals do kill Roaches pretty quick, there's only so much you can micro them, and without anything to buffer, they are just going to die. Corrosive Bars coming down to try and stop Warpins. Well, in fairness, the first 30 or 40 supply of Impacts died pretty quickly here. Corrosive Bars dropping down as he just continues to bully his way into this mineral line. Very good saves on these Immortals. Honestly, Trap is working wonders. Much better than I ever thought he could. The meters up in the main base seem to have been cleaned out as well, so that's obviously somewhat important here to take note of, as we still see that Prism helping out, but now the Immortal count is starting to drop. The Stalkers are maybe going to help to hold on, but Reinforcements probably will be able to clean this up as Impact pulls away down the left-hand side with these Roaches and Ravagers. Alright, so the next few units just coming across the left here. Roaches and Ravagers will just turn around, and if a couple Corrosive Bars are dropping in, Stalker gets picked off. The Immortal still in some trouble being microed around here, as we do have the units being played with all over the place here. You can see that Stalker getting picked off as well. This Immortal helps to get rid of the Ravager. And we do have the 2 Oracles coming up overhead as well. Again, a great cleanup by Impact, but how is Trap meant to recover from this? He lost so many workers. Hopefully, if he lost those units and, you know, okay, Impact remaxed on Roaches again, maybe he could hold on, but the fact he lost so many workers means that now he's in this sort of position where it's going to be very, very difficult. I'm going to turn my webcam off, by the way. It's going to be very, very difficult for him to really figure out just how he is going to make this work. See this Oracle coming over to the right-hand side, all the way over to the far right here. 8 more Roaches on the way out, and there's just GG from Trap, realizing he's too far behind. Impact takes game number 2 and ties it. Ragnarok will not, but we'll get Ragnarok in for next week's group now, as a bit of a thank you for actually showing up when he was needed, and kind of just coming to help us out, even though we couldn't give him a spot today. So, just one of those. Today's been a bit crazy, guys. Obviously, this is not as smooth or as as much as anything like we would like. So, yeah, apologies to Ragnarok as well. That's the last thing we want to do is to message someone and be like, hey, can you come play? And then be like, sorry. I feel really bad about it, but obviously it's just one of those things. It's like, this is like shitty situation, but at least we've got players. I'm super happy to invite him to the next group. I'm super happy to have him play next time. It's just one of those things where Sue just got confirmed literally as I was talking to Ragnarok and between asking him on his stream and stuff. So, one of those things, guys. All right, let's get into this though. It's game 3 of Trap and Impact. So the group right now is Trap and Impact have both lost to Cure, so they're both 0-1. So they're fighting to go 1-1 in the group with a decent chance of still advancing. Now there is top 3 players advancing today, so a lot to play for until the very end. So we'll keep that in mind as we get this rolling. As we have bottom left, our yellow Zerg player is Impact. Top right, our blue Pros player is Trap. And now that we've got players sorted out, I feel like I can sort of like sit back and sort of breathe a little bit. I can be like, whew. Because honestly, the last thing I wanted to do was only have like 3 matches here today. That would have really sucked, I think. I really wanted to do at least 6 best of 3s, like have a 4-player group. So yeah, we got this organized, we got this sorted out. We're going to have Ragnarok playing next week as well. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for putting up with me. I know I've definitely not been the best of casters today. I definitely know my attention has not been on the game at points. I appreciate you guys sticking around and chugging through it with me. How you all doing out in the chat? Let me know what's up. Let me know what we're all thinking, who you're cheering on in this series. I want to see you all out there in the chat. Come and say hello. Let me know how you guys are doing. Woo! Party time! So yeah, hopefully you guys are all good. And yeah, we got a little bit of sponsored content coming up in a little bit as well. Basically, in one of the ad breaks, we're going to be running a video instead of adverts. And we're going to be doing that to basically help raise money for this tournament. That's why I'm casting on WardiTV today. If it's a success and a whole bunch of you stick around, it's a 2-minute video. If a whole bunch of you stick around and watch it, we will literally pump out enough money to to potentially fund a huge chunk of this tournament. So it would mean a lot. We're going to hold it off until we have as many viewers as possible, because it really does go a long way to helping out. So that's coming up a little bit later on, just as a heads up to you all, so it doesn't come in as a complete surprise. Until then, we have Trap versus Impact, and after this, we're going to have Sue versus Cure, Sue versus Impact, and Sue versus Trap as our last few best of 3s. So about halfway through the day, actually, after this series. So there you go. Boom, halfway through the day. Crazy. Oh, and I've been so stressed out about it all. It's just all going to work out nicely in the end. Isn't that just wonderful? You guys have no idea how happy I am that it's just all working out now. That's just all working, you know? It's brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Okay, Templar Archives dropping down here from Trap over in the main base as a Roach Rowan comes in from Impact alongside this Evo Chamber. I mean, that last game, those Roaches just trading again and again, just finding those Immortals without the buffer that they needed, without the protection. And then the Mutas obviously did a little bit of distracting, and then boom, another huge wave of Roaches, making some fantastic stuff happen. As we do see those Zerglings gathering up down the bottom side of Impact. Phoenix is just heading back home. And still the Oracle on the map. It was just a single Oracle here past the Phoenix, so just looking to get into the further tech nice and quickly. Charge already on the way of Temple Archives is down. Now there is a Prism just now warping in those High Templar to morph into Archons. Oracle here to protect them as is needed a lot of the time, otherwise maybe one of the High Templar would have died there. So that's a nice save, and well, if the Archon's set and the Charge about to finish up, there's only 4 gates, but even if, if you see that opportunity to warp in 4 Zealots with these Archons, it's actually surprising the influence they can have as you start to push forwards and get some damage done, as we're going to be seeing. Archons, for a moment there, dropped onto the low ground, as we do have that Queen being chased away. Now both of those Archons are going to jump up into that Warp Prism and head out through the south. Overseer here being chased down by a Phoenix, and as that Phoenix gets some damage out, we are going to be seeing the Overseer just dropping a Changeling down. Drops a couple here just to obviously try and keep up information. Adept will target 1 and will chase for the other. Gets that 2 again, just trying to scout, cancel further scouting. I mean, denying Changelings is obviously always a nice thing to do. You can never really complain about that. A couple of Archons are going for Queen. Top left-hand side is where Impact's going to choose to take the 4th base. Now, this is not the regular 4th base you would take, I would say. I'd say usually you may be thinking about this base down here. This one really is kind of out of the way a little bit. Usually you would expand down here, then a 5th base down here. This base doesn't really have potential for a 5th. You just take a 5th base here, right? But then you're kind of stretching yourself out more thinly, because then you've got to really be top left and bottom side of the map at the same time to defend multi-pronged aggression, so it can definitely get difficult, and that's where we're likely to see Warp Prism players, for example, Zealots kind of attacking and stuff like that. So Impact must have somewhat of a plan to deal with this, though, if he is going to spread himself out like this, because otherwise he would just expand normally, right? Because he has creep spread in front of this base as well. And it looks as though he's going to do it with the Swarm Host. Apologies, I think I mentioned the Infestation Pit, but the Swarm Hosts are now out. So with the Swarm Host coming across, you're going to be seeing these, these Swarm Hosts taking some damage here. You're going to see some Locusts jumping up into the sky, just using half of them right now. Obviously, by using the Swarm Host, you can keep pressure off of this base by being aggressive yourself. First stasis is actually pretty good to slow down some of these Roaches. There's the first few Locusts dropping into play here. Archon's coming down too. Storm not yet ready to help out. The first Zelts go down very quickly. Corrosive Bile actually connects there. As we do see those Roaches acting as a bit of a force field, actually. Now more force fields coming down to keep these units in. The Immortals to the top side are helping out a lot. The Swarm Host coming forwards again, trying to get ready to be useful once more. Trap just about holding on at the moment, as those Roaches are going to get turned away. Another couple of Zerglings taking some shots. 2 more Lings running back through the center. Oracle will give chase, actually. Nothing kind of anti-air base at all here, so just moving forwards, he's going to get himself, well, one of these Swarm Hosts. I mean, every single less Locust you can take is way better for you, as, Locusts are deadly, and anything you can get rid of here is fantastic. So nice free pickings down that Swarm Host. As we do see, well, Locusts popping up into the skies, and they are going to start moving forwards. Lings running up there. And we do see the Roaches and Ravagers coming through the bottom side, going to go for a couple of pylons. The Immortals are popping up into that Prism. Good micro deals with the Locusts, and now you can chase down those Roaches and Ravagers, especially with the Prism with a little bit of micro. You can get a couple of extra shots off. As Trap will push this all the way back. One thing Trap does have to be a little bit cautious of here, most likely, is just making sure the next wave of Locust isn't going to come out while he's out on the map and out of a defensive position. Corrosive Biles are mostly dodged. These Queens off of creep obviously in a little bit of trouble, and a nice lift up there just to stop that one retreating while he finished with the first one. So that's actually a fantastic job, well done. As we also see a hatchery up on this top side. Mutalisks starting to head up to the top as well. These Zerglings are going to be running on by with Impact as well. They're going to run straight on in towards that natural expansion in Adept. A couple of Zealots and an Immortal here. As we see those Zerglings going to get pushed away out into the center. Immortals will turn back around. We'll get a few more Zerglings themselves. We see the Mutalisks coming in towards the main base. I'm going to get, again, a good few probes here. So that's 2 probes already down, going into another couple of Stalker kills. Again, the Mutas in the last game were not necessarily a turning point, but they definitely had a lot to say about helping out. And it seems to be the similar scenario now here, as Trap has to focus on dealing with those Mutas while simultaneously dealing with the Locust aiming to his army, and also Roach Ravage just raining damage onto his third base. Probes are going down all over the place with these Mutalisks going to work on another cannon. I think this base is going to go down. The Locusts here have kept the Immortals, and, well, he's targeted down High Templars, so Storms are being taken out of the equation already. The Mutas are somewhat just given up on, and I mean, honestly, who wouldn't? Because you've killed a third base here. All you have to do right now as Impact is get home, get enough units up to defend, and you have got this game in the bag. Trap will be in some trouble. Immortals coming back down through the south side of this as a Ravager gets lifted up, dropped back down. I mean, Trap has to go now or never, right? It's full commitment from him. No questions asked. First Storm to get rid of some of the Zerglings here. Losing an Immortal already. Extra Storms on the Locust. It's now or never. Locust coming through. Trap is already losing a lot of units. The Ravagers splitting up. The Corrosive Biles are doing so much here. They're going to grab all these Immortals as they're stacked up, backed into a corner. There's nowhere left for them to run. Extra Zealots will warp in though, so Impact will be having to pull back for a moment, get some more Roaches on the map, and most importantly, wait for those Swarm Hosts to come off of cooldown. One more wave of Locusts might just do this here, as we're going to be seeing these units getting ready to keep on pressing forwards. Overlord's about halfway down. Phoenix is going to get picked off as well. Couple of Overlords going to end up dropping here. Queen going to get lifted up too, and things going to keep on working their way through that one. Queen gets picked off here, and as we're going to have the rest of these units of Trap falling all the way back over to this right-hand side. Queen going to transfuse up the Swarm Host. Again, just a few more Phoenix out in the center of the map. Groove Spines, extra Hydralisks, +1 Carapace. All of this getting set to go, as we do have Impact with these Locusts, with what has been a lot of damage dealt. That said, he's only 7 workers ahead. Is there a way in which Trap survives this next wave of units? Maybe, because while there was damage done, Impact has definitely found himself alive in all of this. As we're going to be seeing Storm coming down. Oh, a little bit of a trap there on these few swarm hosts. So a few swarm hosts just getting caught. And we are going to be seeing a few more corrosive bars going up in the sky still. I feel as though surely is just a little bit too much here. These Ravagers force units back. Well, a couple of Hydras coming out as well, though the Phoenix will actually deal with those pretty quickly. Corrosive Bars push the Immortals away yet again, but somehow they're not quite connecting. This time they very nearly did. Immortals are coming around as well. This game is just absolute mess, absolute chaos going on. As now we're going to see these units getting pushed away again. You know what? The Swarm Host count has been whittled down to 8 over time here. It's one of those things that you don't really notice happening until suddenly there isn't as many Swarm Hosts as there once was. The Locusts now being used kind of just haphazardly to try and survive. And suddenly Impact is on the ropes, being pushed back here. Swarm Host found by these Phoenix. Another Swarm Host found. That's 2 more kills, and Trap might still have a fighting chance in this game. Swarm Host drops down, goes down, and that's now 4 Swarm Hosts left on the map. That's barely anything compared to what we once had. And our Zerg player is being reset to Ling, Roach, Ravager Tech. Wow. Wow, 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 absolutely crazy. There's another couple of more going to be finishing soon. The Archon is in the wall. No, thank you, Zerglings, not today. A couple of walls come up the top side. Units are here to defend this, though. Prism will just have to back away. One thing that Impact does have is the entirety of his side of the map. He's got 5 bases without issue. But if Trap can push and get a bit of momentum going, he can not only get a base behind a push, but he can also maybe take down a base as well. And that would put them on even bases. And suddenly we're really talking about this game. So this is getting really interesting as we're going to be seeing these units pressing forwards. Here we go, Immortals are going to jump straight onto a bunch of those drones. This hatchery is already taking a bunch of damage. It's already dropping down, down, and down. Hatchery does fall. Zerglings run in on the right-hand side, and a few Zealots having to back away here for a moment. Archon is going to be finishing up in a few moments as well. A lot of Lings picked away out there. Again, there's a couple of Storms coming down. Immortals still going on to this. We see again another Storm or 2 continue to drop on into play. The Storms are just crazy at the moment. We see Phoenix being lifted up, and Impact will GG. Trap makes it happen. Trap makes it work.